Welcome back, everybody, to part 3 of our Mage Knight playthrough here. This is the life and death solo scenario, part of the Shades of Tezla expansion that is all included in the Mage Knight Ultimate Edition. We have set ourselves up here for round 5, so we have this day phase left and then one more night phase, and to be successful we have to finish off this Elementist Faction Leader, go find the Necromancer Faction Leader, and then take him out as well. So we've got our work cut out for us here. One thing that we need to consider here also is that there's like this giant wall that we need to figure out how we're going to get around. But for right now, we need to go ahead and take care of our faction leader. Just some things to point out. We did, in the new round, refresh our display. You can see here we've got a new fresh elite unit. If we can make it into the city, we can recruit that person. But other than that, we are solely focused here on this 2 level of the person, the faction leader. Here is my starting hand, and you can see I've got some influence cards, a wound, heal or draw 1, gain a blue, white, or red mana token, and a block. So not a whole lot here that's super useful, but I did go ahead and decide to take number 5, which says when you take this tactic card, immediately draw 2 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards since it's the start of the round, and then I'm basically done with that. So another wound and a ranged attack. Now since we have the we're starting at level 5 and they are starting at the dummy player is starting at 2, they get to go first. So we're going to start off the round with them drawing 5 cards. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Now, I've got to be able to block all 4, or else I have to discard all action cards, non-wound cards in my hand. So that's pretty brutal. So I may go ahead and use the Illusionist here, who can help me get through this. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It says target unfortified enemy does not block this attack. They are unfortified at the time, so I don't need to worry about their attack 4. I did have to spend this mana from the source to get there, and then I can play this for attack 2, this guy for attack 2, and also using my skill that I can use once per turn. That will enable me to get to 5. So I've hit this guy at least once here. He's got ice resistance, but I'm not going to need that. I'm also going to go ahead and spend this card. No, what I should have done first is spend this card to gain the white mana token. Sorry, backtrack a little. Then use this one, or use this, to be able to play my bottom part here that allow me to heal these 2 wounds out of my hand. So that's pretty beneficial at this point. Alright, so I don't have enough here. These are basically just moves and influences. I would need to hit him for 5 again, so I can't even turn these sideways to attack. So I'm afraid we're going to have to go into another turn to finally take him out. So let's re-roll this. We did get a black, so we're going to lose that die. These 2 guys are used up now. Oh, the dummy player is already down to 2 cards, which is not cool. Here we draw 3 more cards. So I've got this here. I am going to need some moves here soon. So this is good. I do have red source, so I could go ahead and that could take care of him, but I don't even need to use the red source, so let's think about this. I need to be able to block 1, 2, 3 attacks, which is kind of annoying. Or get to ranged attack 3. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay. So I can go ahead and play this card here and play this guy. Oh, and I should have gotten 3 source. 1, 2, 3, 3 fame for defeating him right there. I don't think I've been counting that up the whole time. Maybe I should have been. Either way, it's going to give me another token here. I'm running out of room again. Alright, but this ranged attack should take care of him right now. And that's going to give us 1, 2, 3 more source. Alright, so that took care of business pretty simply. What else do we want to do with our turn here? I'm technically on a magical glade, but I don't think I'm going to stay there. So I've got these 2 guys right here. Oh, both attack 5s. I don't really have any more ranged attacks, so I think I'm going to have to go around them. Actually, technically they're underground, so I can step on this space and not have to deal with them. I won't be entering the spawning grounds. I believe that's how that works. So it is 3 to enter that space, and then I'm going to need another 2 plus a blue mana, which I don't have to get into the lake. Or 5 movement to get up into the mountains, but then again I'm blocked off by the lake. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way so I can see my map fully here. What to do? I've already used mana from the source this time. I don't have any tokens. I've got some influence here if I wanted to come down here, but the only thing I could gain is, oh no, I could recruit these heroes. 9 times 2, okay. So 4, so this hero is showing me here that my reputation is times to 2, which is currently +2, so I'd get +4 reputation. So this is actually only a 5 to recruit them. And I do have, influence 5. Okay, influence 2, 4. Okay. Not really sure how we're gonna get there. Let's see. Alright, so I've got this, and I've got this. That can move me into this space here. Then it's gonna cost me 2 more to get into my last space. Oh man. That's just gonna give me fire. That helps me reveal a token. Alright, this is a magical glade. And again, I feel like I'm just taking the super long route here, but I don't have a blue token to spend. So how do I get my 2 more movement? I've spent this card. Discard another card from hand. Influence 2, 4. I could get there just by playing that. Okay. Alright, so this is what I think we're going to have to do here. We are going to just spend these 2 sideways. That's going to get us into the village. Then I'm going to activate my Herbalist, who's going to ready my Illusionist. My Illusionist gives me Influence 4, plus this guy gives me Influence 2 for 6 total. And we can recruit our heroes here. Alright, so we'll put that there. Okay, and all we're left with is here. So that obviously ends our turn. Let's reroll the mana. Got a white. Dummy player is down to just 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we definitely need to just get moving here. I guess the quickest route is gonna be just this way, straight across, but that's gonna take 9 movement to get there. All right, so I've got this, which is helpful. It means it's only gonna take 6. When you play this, also pay 1 mana of a basic color, gain a crystal of that color, gain a blue crystal into your inventory. So if I play this first, it'll give me a blue crystal. All right, and then I can play this, which it says the move cost of one type of retain is reduced by 1 this turn to a minimum of 2, which is what we want. We want to reduce the forests down as much as possible. So the forests go from 3 to 2, minimum of 2, and this is going to get us through 2 of them with my movement of 4. And I can also use this guy, who's also going to get me to 2. And here we are at the edge of the Mage's Tower. Okay, so let me just kind of get these out of the way here. And since we are adjacent to the Mage's Tower, we can go ahead and flip this over and look at what we are discovering. Okay, so this guy, instead of actually fighting him, we need to flip over, summon one of these guys instead. So we could take them out with a ranged attack if we have it, or we're gonna have to deal with this creature, which is pretty nasty. I guess I technically should not have made that decision yet, but I don't think I can take on, I don't have any ranged attack right now. This guy's been spent. I've got this card, which is 1, but we might have to wait until the next round to take this guy on. I also need to figure out what that symbol is. Okay. It says damage from this guy's attack cannot be assigned to units. It's gonna have to come straight to me. Alright. So I'd have to either figure out how to block for 6. This girl can attack or block for 5, which is pretty good. And then I'd have to hit him for 6. Cold block for 8. Okay. Yeah, I wish I just had some ranged attack here. So I think what we're going to go ahead and do is play this. When you pay this, also pay 1 mana, gain a crystal of basic color. So I'm going to go ahead and use up this red one to gain a red crystal. That way I know I can power this thing in the next round. Roll that back, and we got 2 whites. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next round. Set that aside. All right, dummy player's down to 1 card, which means we have at least 2 more turns. All right, not a whole lot of goodness, but we got something we need here. Okay, so a whole lot of wounds, which are not helpful, but we can go ahead and play this from the source. So essentially we're hitting this guy before he's able to summon anybody. And he's not, I don't need siege attack, so I'm taking this guy out. I'm gonna get 4 reputation, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna get to pick a spell. So let's move this out of the way. Anything else I want to play here before we take care of this? When you play this, pay a mana. If you paid green, I don't have green. And what I really need right now is white. I re-rolled this and it's red, but I can't use anything else from the source, and I've got a whole bunch of wounds in my hand. Okay, so let's pause here and just take a look at what our options are for spells. Okay, so here is our spell offering. First we have Chill. Target enemy does not attack this combat. As fire resistance, it loses it, so that's nice. This one is, you may use an ability of one unit in the unit's offer this turn as if it were one of your recruits. That's interesting. Or randomly pick up to 2 cards from your discard pile and place them either on top or bottom of your deed deck. Your hand limit is higher by 2 the next time you draw cards. Ooh. Pick 2 cards from your discard pile and place them either on top or bottom of your deed deck. All of these are really handy. Having an extra unit, but also having the target enemy not attack. I think we're going to go with this one, because that has been, we have used that with our illusionist several times. So that goes on top of our deed deck. All of these shift down, and we're going to reveal basic fireball, ranged fire attack 5. This one will be super handy. All right, take a wound siege fire attack. Okay, so let's come back to the board here. Okay, so I learned some things while I was switching the camera there. First of all, I realized that this whole time I had been standing on this space, which means at the end of my last turn I should have gotten my choice of a green and blue mana. I went ahead and took that green mana, which I'm now going to spend to play this, and it's going to give me a move 4, so I'm going to be able to go there. Now, moving forward, I don't have to worry about these 2 enemies, because these guys are on what is now a graveyard and not a magical glade, because they're the necromancers, and this guy is behind a wall. So you can see these 2 spaces have the wall in between me and the rampaging enemy. Also, these guys, since they're part of a special setup there, I have to enter the graveyard in order to attack them. So I can actually pass through these guys without any effect. Now if I were to go up here and then enter here, then I would start making this guy mad. Another thing is that when reading the rules for this, I realized that if I were to defeat these guys, not only do I get their rewards, but I would also get a spell. When you defeat people in the magical glade, you are supposed to get an artifact. So I went ahead and drew 2 artifacts and shuffled them back into my deck. And so now we are left with the end of my turn, 4 cards. And so I am going to go ahead and continue the next player, the dummy player. So they have 0 cards now. So next, I basically have 2 more turns. I know that for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards here. And then what I'm going to do, instead of actually doing anything this round, is I'm going to rest. So I have to discard 1 card. And I think what I'm going to do is discard this one, because I don't see myself doing any attacks here on this final round. And then I also get to discard as many wound cards as I want. I don't heal them, they just go into my discard pile. So that was my rest, and that was my entire turn. So now again, we go back to the dummy player, and they announce end of round. So I've got 1 more turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's one of the artifacts that I unlocked. I can assign this to a unit, and during the block phase, they basically cancel an enemy attack, and I get fame +1. So all I'm really trying to do, though, is get up here and unlock this new area. So let's kind of push this stuff out of the way here. and see if we can't do something about that. So, fire block, move 2. I don't have the right mana for that. Cost of all terrains is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 2. Okay, so if I play this card, I can move now onto the forests. And then I can play this card for my move 2 that will allow me... Actually, no wait. Don't need to play this card yet because I have this token, but actually I'm going to save this token because I do have... No, let's go ahead and spend it. I'm going to spend this token to flip over another tile for free. So let's see what we got here. All right, so this is a green city. So this city is not friendly like the blue one. And it needs to go right there. All right, so things are in the way right now. I'm going to move them. Now, this gentleman right here is rampaging and he can see me. All right, it's daytime, so he goes face up. Same thing with this one. This one is rampaging and I'm not behind the wall. This is a graveyard. So let's do this here, and it gets these two guys also face up, but they are just going to stay in their graveyard unless I come attack them. So, whew, that is quite a nasty little setup. And unfortunately, going along this plane here, I have kind of spent out my wedge. So I need to get up here and unlock, you know, that's part of the scenario rules, is getting up there to take care of him. So let's see if we can't do something about this guy. You see he's fortified, and he's actually going to bring out, if I can't get him beforehand with a siege attack, which I don't really have anything that's siege attack, he's going to actually bring out another person. So let me just double check here. Assign this to a unit you control during the block phase of combat. You may spend this unit to cancel one enemy effect. Okay, so I don't have anything that can be used to just take him out outright. So we are going to have to defeat him here. I'm definitely not going this way because then I'd have to fight this dragon too. So instead of fighting him, we now have to defeat this guy, who's actually a little easier. Now I don't get the chance to siege attack him, but I do have some stuff here that I can do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is spend this guy to block for 2. Spend this unit to cancel one enemy attack. Okay, Fame +1. So actually what I'm going to do is use my Banner of Fear here on my heroes. This is just going to give me an extra Fame. So that's a little bonus. So I've officially blocked him. He doesn't do any attack, and then I will use red mana from the source to do an attack +4, and that will defeat him outright. And if I remember correctly, I get this guy's source or fame and stuff. So I'm going to get 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to get my first Necromancer token, which looks like this. And that means Ghostly Elixir, 1 attack on a single action card becomes a ranged attack. So that's pretty handy. All right. So he's now out of my way, and I get a +1 for defeating a rampaging enemy. Now I can still use this to move +2 because my forest, I'm still on the same turn. And unfortunately, I kind of have to stop here. Let's see, you can use an additional mana from the source, which I don't really have one. And this is a fire block 4, so I need a blue mana. I've already used, yeah. Take mana to any color except for gold, gain 2 mana tokens of that color. Do not reroll this die when you return it to the source. Okay, so maybe we'll do this. Backtrack here. All right, I'm gonna, instead of using this for my attack, I'm gonna go ahead and use up my crystal. So I used up my crystal, took care of him. Now I'm going to use the white mana from the source to do this bottom one. And it says take a mana die from the source, turn it to a color, and you gain 2 mana tokens of that color. So I'm not going to get them out because I'm going to use that to turn this guy into a move 4. That means 1, 2, and then I can move into the lake 3, 4 by spending the other mana token. That means the only thing I'm left with, the only card I did not use this round, is my spell, and I don't have the ability to pay for it. So that's it. We are going to end the 5th round right here in the lake. This is a safe space for us, so I'll have to relook at our map because I'm not sure if I can unlock a space here or whether I have to come over here to unlock a space, but that is the question. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer us into round 6, the final round, and figure out where we can put the next map tile, get everything cleaned up, and come right back so we can finish off this Necromancer Faction Leader. Okay, so we have set up for our final round here, round 6. Just some quick round things to take note of. I went ahead and took the number 1 card. That way I made sure that I'm just probably going to hopefully get an extra turn between me and the dummy player. I refreshed everything, and then I learned some things once again. You know, just a disclaimer here. Mage Knight is a very thick game. You know, it's a very intense rule book. I have gone back and referenced it numerous times, and this is also my first time playing this Shades of Tezla expansion. So there were a lot of rules that were a little I didn't quite understand in the rule book, and one of those was the placement of the Necromium, where the Necromancer Faction Leader is and where the Elementist Faction Leader is. And the instructions tell you to get out 3 castles, one of which is going to be neutral, then a green and a red. And then it tells you to pick 2 other core tiles, and then it talks about picking the faction leader tiles. And they're talking about this, I believe, as a tile, which is very confusing. And if you go back and look at prior in the rules, it talks about how when these castles come out on the board, you replace them with these tiles. So it turns out that I should not have found the Elementists hideout earlier, but I'm not going to go back and do that. You know, I'm here to have fun, I'm here to play a game. So, but I am now here realizing that at the start of the 6th round, I am standing right next to the faction leader and what he needs to accomplish. So I have kind of looked ahead at my what I need to accomplish here, and I'm going to try something. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is take on these 2 fellas here in the graveyard. It just so happens to be next to where the faction leader is, but I am not going to provoke any of these guys or anything like that. And I'm doing this so I can not only level up now, but also gain a spell. So, first thing we're going to do is spend 2 movement to get into their space. So I've officially moved into the graveyard now. Now I'm going to make use of this skill here, which is going to give me a +1 ranged attack, and I am also going to spend this one, and I'm going to use black mana from the source to be able to do the bottom one, which is a ranged ice attack of 3. So I've hit this guy once, and this guy once, and this guy's done. So I'm just going to flip him over just for a second. Now I've reduced this guy down to 5. I'm also going to play this token here, which is going to allow me to play this hero here and turn any attack into a ranged attack. And so now this attack 5 becomes a ranged attack 5 plus 1 equals 6. And I have now officially taken out these guys as well. So what this officially is going to do is allow me to not only level up, but get a spell that's going to give me an advanced action. And yeah, I'm going to show you what all I can accomplish with that right now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is choose a spell, and it's pretty obvious. I'm going to go with the Fireball here, because it's going to give me a ranged attack 5, but in the nighttime here, it's going to give me a siege fire attack 8. So this is pretty beastly. Obviously, we're all about the attacks right now, and this will go on top of our deck. So you can see also that I'm going to get 5 fame from this fella here, and an additional 2 from this fella here. So that's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have leveled up, and I'm done with my turn now. I was officially going to call end of turn. So I'm going to get 2 of these tokens here. Let's check out what we got. All right, so this one says Vial of Toxin. 1 source of physical attack gains +3, +2 in ranged, and +1 in siege. This bonus is lost if the attack is no longer physical. Okay, interesting. And then this one says you may change 1 black mana die in the source to gold, or 1 gold mana die in the source to black. So if we happen to re-roll, and you can see I re-rolled my 1 black into a green, but if we happen to roll a gold, I guess we can use that real quick and not lose it. So the next thing we have to look into here is what advanced action we want to take. Now, the other one is talking about taking a wound to gain a red crystal, and I really don't need more wounds in my hand, but these are my 2 options here. So I could play this at the start of combat, and all units get their attacks and block values increased by 2, which would be nice. You cannot assign damage to your units this turn, and that's fine. Or siege attack 3, which would also be helpful. I think I'm going to go with the Crushing Bolt, because at this moment in time I have used up my heroes, which I know is sad, but they were pretty useful in dispatching these 2 guys very quickly. And so I really only have my guardsmen who have attack and block on them. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and this also is going to go on top of my deck. Now, the last thing we get to do is gain a skill. And so these are my 2 skills here that I have the option of doing, but I also have the option of taking 1 skill from the pool that has been created by the dummy player. And here is the dummy player's options. Now, we've seen this one before. I actually switched to this one for a little while and switched back. I can discard a wound to gain a mana token, but this one, and this is one of my favorite reasons why I play with Aethra most of the times as my basic mage, is that I can actually use wounds now to turn sideways, and they, instead of becoming just a waste of card in my hand, they can become a +2 of whatever, kind of like just turning any card over sideways. So I'm going to go ahead and take this skill, which is going to help me use up the wounds in my hand. So there we go. We will go ahead and replace these 2 here. I don't think we're going to get to any of them. This one would actually move down. And so yeah, that takes care of our leveling up phase, and just real quick, we'll get it out of the way. Aethra's down to 16 cards. Okay, so we are back. I had 4 cards in hand, so I know the exact 2 cards that are going to be coming up next. So right now I have access to a Siege Fire Attack 8, a move 2 that's going to help me move into... okay, yeah, I don't gain any benefit from being on the graveyard. So, I do though get +1 reputation, not that that really matters. I'm not going to be recruiting anybody anytime soon. Okay, so let's take a look now at what we have to deal with here. Some nastiness. And remember, I'm also having to deal with level 6 here, so he's hitting for 6. It's assassination and paralyze, so I definitely need to block this. Here we have paralyzed again, so I need to block that. These guys, I can actually use movement points to get by them because they're encumbered. They're basically a horde of zombies. And these 2 guys are, if they do injure me, it'll actually boost up their HP level that I need to attack them with. So let's see what we can go ahead and do here. Take a wound, Siege Fire Attack 8. Okay, so I've got these guys here. They can block for 4. And I'm also going to use, yeah, I can use this skill here once a turn. So I can turn these guys sideways to block for 4 and add a wound card to block for 6. So I'm blocking our fella right here. Alright, what else do we need to do here? Siege Fire Attack 8, that's so close. Okay. Alright. So then I'm also going to use... cover this guy up here. I have to take a wound, which is okay, because we can use these now in the future. But I can use this as a red, and I'm playing at night for Siege Fire Attack 8. And also this token is going to give me +1 to my siege attack, which will take out the dragon here. Okay. And I can also play this. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I had to play this to even move into the necropolis. Sorry about that. So let's get this out of the way. And then I really don't have much else in the way of being able to... I technically have this, which can siege attack all the other people. And what I think I may do is use my herbalists here to gain a green mana token. I'm not going to pull it out because I'm just going to turn around and use it here for siege attack 3, which is going to take out this guy. Okay, and I believe that's all I can do right now. So this is just the siege phase, or the ranged phase. I have taken out 2 guys and this guy. Let me put a shield token up here. Alright, so now the vampire here is going to attack us, unfortunately. So his HP is actually going to go up to 7. Well, no. This is what I can do. Alright. Remove this. That gets discarded. This gets re-rolled. Okay, so I'm going to turn in this token to turn this to a black. Alright. Okay, this is done. This is done. These guys are set. Okay, so my vampire here can wound for someone for 1. So I'm actually going to put the wound on my UTEM guard because I'm not going to be able to get them back anyways, and they've got a shield value of 5. So he does go up to 6. I'm just going to have to remember that here in the future, that he goes up to 6, and then I can attack or block. Yeah, that's not doing me any good. Okay, so then I can also have these guys attack my herbalists and my heroes, and then they will attack me for 1. Or should I just flip-flop that? No, yeah, let's save this. And I'm going to say that I played this as a block 2, which I am not sure whether I can. I think I have to play 3 individual block cards to block these 3 attacks. So that's just blocking me. Here are the other 2. And so yeah, I don't really have anything else that I can hit anybody with, but we are going to get some rewards here at the end of our turn. So I'm going to get 8 fame. So we'll go up from 68 to 76. So yeah, there's no level up there, but I'll also get 2 of these tokens over here. So let's see what we got. All right, another thing that'll boost each of our attacks, and another thing that can flip a die. All right. So these all stay on here. I still have my illusionist. I'm still fighting a zombie horde, a vampire. But this time now I am fighting the level 5 guy. All right, the dummy player is down to 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 4 new ones. Okay, so this is one of the artifacts I got. Gain a mana token of any color. Played during the day. Deserts have their move cost. And you can use black mana as if it were night. And this, I believe... Oh no, this artifacts, I can use the thing as the bottom and I wouldn't get it back. So this isn't bad because I have no way of getting this back into my hand anyways, and this is the last round. So same as the basic effect, except you get 3 mana tokens of any colors instead of 1. So that's interesting. This influence here isn't going to do me much good. This could be useful as a block. Okay. Alright. So you gain 3 mana tokens of any colors instead of 1. Alright. Mamma mia. Ranged attack. Okay. So we can take that guy out and block that guy. Okay. And influence 2. Okay. So what I am going to do here is play this. And I'm going to get 2 whites and a blue. So there's a white and a blue. And here's another white. Okay, so I technically have lost this card. That's fine. Put that one up there. Now, what can I do to increase my odds here? Okay. 2, that would take it up to 3. That's not gonna do me any good. Okay, so I'm gonna use this with the blue guy, and I'm also going to use this skill, which can reduce somebody's attack by 1. So now I'm blocking 5, I'm blocking his 5. I'm also going to spend this guy using the white. It becomes a ranged attack 3, and I'm going to use this token to bump it up to 5. So I'm going to take out the vampire now. And then going to, oh boy, yeah, spend this as a move 1 and this as a move 2 because I can use it with this skill, and I have a +1 movement. I should have used this the last time. So that dodges all of these guys. That's gonna block all of their stuff. And that's it. So I didn't get any attacks in, but I'm slowly whittling them away here. All right, so I used up all of my, yeah, I didn't get to use this one like I thought I would, but that's fine. So these guys all come off. That stays on. Okay. And we have to do another turn. All right, so the dummy player's down to 7. Oh, but I get some bonus here. 1, 2, 3, 4 is actually gonna level me up. So I now get an extra activation token that I'm not gonna be able to use. But I now have a hand limit of 7, which is good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's definitely going to help me get through this now. And I get one of these tokens. So what did we get? This one says, Amulet of Reawakening. Pick a card at random from your discard pile and put it on the bottom of your deed deck. Your hand limit is 1 higher the next time you draw cards. Ooh! What do I have in here that I might want to get back? I have that siege attack one, that would be good. Might have to get that one back. Okay, so drew another wound. Moves aren't doing me any good. This I could, okay. Alright, if I pay for the blue, but I don't have any way to pay for heal 1 or draw 2 cards. You can use 1 additional mana die from the source. Okay. Alright. If I use, I would need red and then green. Green 4 isn't doing me any good. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is spend this to draw 2 cards instead. I got Banner of Fear, and target enemy does not attack this combat. Okay, Banner of Fear is assigned to a unit you control. During the block phase of combat, you may spend this unit to cancel 1 enemy attack. If you do +1 fame. Up to 3 enemies do not attack this combat. Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and play that. I did have to use green mana from the source to get there. Then let's see what else we can do. I will certainly play this, which is going to say that these 2 enemies don't attack. Now what else can I do with my cards here is the question. I'm going to go ahead and play this. It says you can use 1 additional mana die from the source. So what do I want to play? Target enemy does not attack this combat and gets armor -4 for the rest of the turn. Okay. To a minimum of 1. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my other mana die to play this. Target enemy does not attack. That doesn't matter. We already took care of that. But reduces their armor to -4 and doesn't say anything about the faction leader not being a target. So the faction leader is essentially a 1 right now. And so each multiples of 1 that I hit him for, he's going to be killed. So here is attack 2, and that's technically just 1 attack. So here's another token. But I can play this sideways as an attack 2. There's another token. Down. Then I can play this sideways as an attack 1. down, and this sideways as an attack, basic attack 1. So there you go. That was at least how I interpret the rules. Perfectly fair. And let's see here. I used up my 2 artifacts. I used all of this up. I can use this to get my, turn this back into a black. This is done. And we move to the next round. Okay, so dummy player has 1 card remaining. So that means I have 2 more turns left, but I think I got it in the bag because I only got to hit this guy once. Alright, he's hitting pretty nasty though. He's brutal, hitting for 5. I gotta hit him. It's like he got more powerful in this very last turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. I've got a move, heal, or a block. Might need the block. Influence is worthless. Gain a crystal of worthless. Worthless. Ranged attack 3. 4. Okay. So this again says pick a card at random from your discard pile and put it on the bottom of your D deck. Your hand limit is +1 the next time you draw cards. So let's just go ahead and spend this because I got no other time I can use this. So I'm going to shuffle my discard pile here. All right, and pick at random. So let's see what we got. Pathfinding, move 2, of course. Okay, so that's gonna go on our bottom, and we actually get a hand limit of 8 the next round. So we'll have to remember that. Okay. So what can we do here? If I allow him to hit me, he's gonna go up in things. So I either need to, okay, I can do that. When you play this, also pay 1 mana of a basic color, gain a crystal of that color in your inventory. Okay. Move 2, block 2. Ranged attack. Okay, so I'm going to use a mana die from the source. It says target unfortified enemy does not attack. He also has physical resistance. So what I need to do now is move to uniform, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he's got physical resistance. Here I am going to use this to block 1. Use this to block 2, technically sideways, and then I'm going to use the last one is going to injure my illusionist here, because again, we're throwing out all the stops here. So, okay. So we're done with their activation. Let's get these 2 guys out of the way. And I don't need to defeat this zombie horde to win the game. So here it says when you play this, also pay 1 mana of a basic color. Oh crap. Oh, this literally is going to come down to the final turn, isn't it? Pay a mana of a basic color to gain a crystal of that color to your inventory. I really don't want a green. I can't do anything with these. I re-rolled a white. So let me just go ahead and take this. I'll take the green crystal. I'll get that card out of my hand, even though I think I'm running out. But then I can re-roll this. Okay, came up red, so that's actually kind of helpful. All right, so here we go, folks. All right, I actually have 1 more turn. Coming down to the wire, the very last hand here, I get 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so I had all these already. I have another move, worthless, fire block 4. Okay, if this card is used as part of a successful block, you may use it during your attack phase. Okay, so that may be what we come down to. Discard this for block 3. Okay, gain a blue, white, or red mana token. Okay, alright. Fire block 4, destroy the blocked enemy. Okay. Alright, so I think what we are just going to do here is... Yep. I am going to pay for this here. Fire block 4, and if this card is used as a successful block, so we need to block for 5. And I can also throw this guy in here. I need to discard a card, which is fine. I'll discard this move card, which is worthless to me. And yeah, I could even play this one to gain a white mana token. And this guy, then I could play range 3, throw this in there. I don't know if I could legally do this. I don't think it said I could throw this in there. But anyways, I am victorious because fire blocked 4. Worst case, I could turn around and use these 2 things to attack him directly. If for some reason someone wanted to say that I couldn't use this instant kill, destroy an enemy, I had multiple ways of doing it. That would leave the zombies still on the board. But anyways, I also was forgetting to take the 3 per turn. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Times 3 would be up to 98. So I literally am on the last possible spot before leveling up one more time. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This was the life and death scenario played solo from the Shades of Tezla. I played with Bravelar, who was the included hero in the Shades of Tezla, and this was all from the Mage Knight Ultimate Edition box. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thank you for sticking with me and for watching, and have a wonderful night.